I'm going to start. So last week, can you remember I asked you to find out details about these two people? I asked you to choose one and find out these details. Did you do this? Hands up those who found details about the name and the country and the physical challenges, career. Tulini, Nehansa, Lochani, Sanuti. Right. So you people did homework. Then what about Kenulya?
So I was absent last week.
Right. And then Inakshi, you are having your term tests these days, no? Is that why you didn't do it?
Yeah.
All right. Then Tulini, Puta, tell me whether you wrote a paragraph or did you just find information? What did you do, Tulini?
Sentences.
You wrote some sentences.
Yes.
Right. And then what about Nehansa? What did you do?
I wrote a paragraph, teacher.
You wrote a paragraph. All right. And Lochani?
Teacher,
You,
I found some sentences. That means point form.
right. Point form. But you didn't write a paragraph.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay. Sanuti, what did you do? Sanuti?
Yes,
Nainadini?
madam. I
What did you do?
point form.
Point form. Right. So Lochani and Sanuti, you have found the things in point form, and Tulini, you have written some sentences, and Nehansa, you wrote a paragraph. No? That's what you have done. Okay. And then Puta, this is actually a speaking one. මෙතන ඔයගලන්ට තියෙන්නේ කතා කරන්න, but then when it comes to your paper, when it comes to your O-level paper, you might need to write a paragraph on this one, making someone a person who inspired me most. අන්න ඒ වගේ paragraph writing තමයි හම්බ වෙන්නේ. So you need to learn how to write a paragraph, and if you have written those things in sentences වලින් නම් ලිව්වේ, ඔයගලන් එක paragraph එකකට හදාගන්න වෙනවා. කවුද paragraph හැදුවා කියලා කිව්වේ? Nehansa නේද? Nehansa, could you please read the paragraph that you have written quickly?
Teacher, I wrote about these two people.
Both these people
Yes, teacher.
together or like separately?
Separately, teacher.
හරි. එහෙනම් choose someone that you really like. That means out of those two paragraphs, you can select one.
Teacher, I wrote this like a speech.
Come on then.
I would like to tell you about Jessica Cox. She was born in the United States without arms due to a rare birth defect. Jessica is also a motivational speaker, and especially she is the world's first licensed armless pilot and a taekwondo black belt. She uses her story to inspire others. She became successful through determination. Born without arms is very difficult, and she learned to use her feet for every task. Jessica's success is based on her positive mindset, which helps her to break barriers. Through her motivational speaking, she shares her journey and encouraging others to overcome challenges.
Okay, very good. That's a good one. So others also, you have to write a similar paragraph about either Nick or Jessica. And then we did this one. And then today we will move on to this essay, Yoga's essay on Charlie Chaplin. The person who inspired me the most. Tulini, start reading.
There are many famous people in this world. People can be famous for many reasons. First, a person can excel in one area and become famous. Also, he or she can invent something and become famous. However, there are some practical people around us who show us that we can do many things.
Okay, good. Now we'll see what it says. There are many famous people in this world that you can understand. People can be famous for many reasons. So there are several ways for a person to be popular. එකෙක් විදිහට famous වෙන්න පුළුවන්. First, a person can excel. Puta, excel means be very competent in a certain thing, excelling. Then if we think of Usain Bolt, he excels in sprinting, right? In short distance running in one area and become famous. Also, he or she can invent something. That invent can become famous. However, there are some practical people around us, around spelling who show us that we can do many things. Samahara ayata, they can like excel in one area, other people can invent something. Tawata innama, they can do many things. Right, and then the next part, Sanuti.
Moreover, they prove us that one can become successful not only in one area but also in many different fields. Sir Charles Spencer Chaplin, or commonly known as Charlie, was an English actor, comedian, and filmmaker who became world famous. Has proved this fact. Recently, I read about him in a newspaper.
Right. Now, moreover, they prove us that one can become successful not only in one area, but also in many different fields. So when we think of people, some people can be famous in one field. එක field එකක famous වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But there are some other people who can do many things, who excel in many things. ඒ වගේ කෙනෙක් තමයි Sir Charles Spencer Chaplin, or commonly known as Charlie, was an English actor, comedian කියන්නේ අර හිනා ගස්සන මනුස්සයා ඉන්නේ comedian and filmmaker who became world famous. එතන මෙයා මේක ගැන prove කරලා තියෙනවා. He was not only an actor, he was not only a comedian, he was not only a filmmaker, මේ ඔක්කොගෙම එකතුවක්. Right? He can do all these things. Recently, I read about him in a newspaper. Right. And then from there onwards, Inakshi.
This great person once said, "You will never find a rainbow if you are looking down." This statement shows how optimistic he is. Sir Charles Spencer Chaplin was born on 16th April 1889 in Walworth, London, in the United Kingdom. His parents were singers and actors. After his father's death, his family had to face many challenges. As a result, his mother struggled financially.
Right. This great person once said, so this is a saying told by Charlie Chaplin, you'll never see a rainbow if you are looking down. Puta, rainbow is something very beautiful. You will not be able to achieve anything beautiful in your life if you are looking down. That means you should always be hopeful about your future. This statement shows how optimistic කියන්නේ සුභවාදී කියන්නේ optimistic he is. Sir Charles Spencer Chaplin was born on 16th April 1889. That part you can understand in Woolworth, London, UK. His parents were singers and actors. So they were also in the entertainment field. After his father's death, his family had to face many challenges. As a result, his mother fought financially. When it comes to money, they had to struggle a lot. ගොඩක් ඒගොල්ලන්ට struggle කරන්න වුණා, fight කරන්න වුණා because of fight කරනවා කියන අතින් පයින් fight කරනවා කියන එක නෙමෙයි. ඒගොල්ලන්ට so they had to face many challenges. They had to face many difficulties. Right. And then from there onwards, Nehansa.
Hence, Charlie's childhood can be described as one with poverty and hardships. However, his mother earned the living by performing on stage. The situation became worse after the illness of Charlie's mother, Hannah Chaplin.
Right. Then what happened? Now father is dead. And then hence means because of that. Charlie's childhood can be described as one with poverty and hardship. Poverty කියලා කියන්නේ දුප්පත්කම. Poor, දුප්පත්, poverty, දුප්පත්කම, and hardships. However, his mother earned the living by performing on stage. Mother and father, they were singers and actors. Then තාත්තා මැරුණාට පස්සේ, after father died, Hannah Chaplin, that means Charlie Chaplin's mother, performed on stage. But unfortunately, what happened? The situation became worse after the illness of Charlie's mother. So father died, mother is also ill now. And they had to experience more trouble. Lochini.
He had to start work at the age of 9. All what he inherited from both his parents were put into practice. Small Charlie's willpower and talent made him a stage actor and comedian.
Right. He had to start work at the age of 9. Puta 9 means like in grade 3. No? So when Charlie was really small, he had to start working. All what he inherited means given by genes or given by birth, no? Inherited from both his parents were singers and actors. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ genes වලින් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අර ජාන වලින් චාලිට ලැබිච්ච skill එකක් තියෙනවානේ. So he used this skill, were put into practice. Small Charlie's willpower. What we mean by willpower is like determination. එයාට ඉස්සරහට යන්න ඕන අර අදිෂ්ඨානය වගේ එකක් නේ. Willpower and talent made him a stage actor and a comedian. Now, when we think of this small Charlie, he was able to become an actor and a comedian. Then, last part, Kenulya.
At the age of 19, he moved to the United States and joined Fred Corner Company. Charlie could win the hearts of the audience very soon. In 1913, he entered the cinema world.
Right. So earlier he was in London, and then when he was 19 years old, he moved to the US, and then this is the company that he joined, Fred Corner Company. And then Puta, you know that people really love Charlie Chaplin. Still also we can see most of Charlie Chaplin's movies and videos, there are no dialogues much, and also they are in black and white, and they are hilarious. They are really funny, even though there are no dialogues. And then in 1913, he entered the cinema world. And then you have the rest of the points. Now, earlier you've found out points about Nick and Jessica. Similarly, here we have some points about Charlie Chaplin. And then started working at the age of 9, that part we discussed. Performed on stage, that is also discussed. Stage actor, comedian, done. Going to US, done. Fred Kanu Company, done. And then entered the cinema world, that is also discussed. And then from here onwards, these parts are not in the essay. What you must do is, ඔගලන් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ මොනවාද? You have to finish up the essay. දැන් මේකනේ essay එක. This is the essay. මේක තමයි essay එක. And you need to finish it up using these points. මෙන්න මේ points තමයි ඔගලන්ට දීලා නැත්තේ. And you need to fill up the gaps. For an example, you can mention, now here it says he entered the cinema world, and then you can mention that very quickly Charlie was able to become very famous, and everybody began to demand Charlie on stage as well as movies. In 1917, he became an independent film producer and produced silent films, which became extremely popular not only in the US, but also around the world. Something like that. Using these points, you need to make sentences and fill up the above essay. And for this, you can take possibly like 5 minutes time. විනාඩි 5ක් හොඳට මැති. ඊට පස්සේ මං කිව්ව ටික ලියලා ඊළඟට කියන්න පුළුවන් some of the most famous films of Charlie Chaplin are The Kid, produced in 1921, A Woman of Paris, 1923, The Gold Rush, and The Circus, which are some of the most popular films. Then, at the age of 88, this world-famous actor and producer passed away on 25th December 1977. Even after his death, he seems to inspire thousands of young actors in order to pursue their dreams. මේ තමන් අර young actors ලාව එයා තාම influence කරනවා කියන එක කියලා. You can finish up your essay. I'll give you 5 minutes. Please finish up by 6:30. 6:30 වෙනකොට finish up කරන්න. You only have to write this part, the part that you are going to add to the above essay. සම්පූර්ණ essay එකම ලියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Just write the part that you will be adding. That will be enough. Right, I hope all of you have finished up writing. Anybody still writing, raise your hand. Nane, hare. Then Puta, we have to write about a short essay on C.W.W. Kannangara as well, Dr. C.W.W. Kannangara as well. And you are given some guidelines. Let's see. Born on October 13th, 1884, Randobe in Ambalangoda. First worked as a teacher, became a lawyer in 1910, found a member of the Ceylon National Congress, formed with the aim of obtaining independence for Sri Lanka, Minister of Education from 1931 to 1947, known as the father of free education in Sri Lanka. Right, these things you can understand, and also you will be able to write a passage, not a whole essay. A passage would be enough. Please do that activity as well. You will be able to do it on your own. ඔයගලන්ට ඒක තනියම කරන්න පුළුවන්. Writing a passage using these information. මේ information use කරලා passage එක ලියන්න. ඊළඟට last week we stopped our grammar lessons with that sentence expansion නේ. එතනින් තමයි අපි නැවැත්තුවේ. We have to continue that as well. නමුත් before that, until 7, we will move on to your unit number 13 as well, Puta. Unit number 13 is about future now, because our next grammar lesson is included in chapter 13, grammar activity, 4th one actually. Right, here we have the Earth Hour, and you've got some comprehension questions as well. Here you've got comprehension questions, and then you have if conditional questions. And your lesson is on conditional sentences, type 1, type 2, and type 3. This one is actually really easy. But before that, let me finish up this one about the Earth Hour. Right. 1, 2, 3. Let's start reading this part. Oditya, start reading, Puta. Oditya.
Earth Hour is held annually to encourage individually, communities, households, and business to turn off their lights for 1 hour from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on the last Saturday in March. This is done as symbol of our commitment to the planet we live in.
Okay, good. So we are talking about Earth Hour, and we need to understand what is meant by Earth Hour. මොකද්ද මේ Earth Hour එක කියන්නේ කියලා බලමු. Earth Hour is held annually, වාර්ෂිකව තියනවලු, to encourage individuals, පුද්ගලයන්ව, communities, households, එක එක ගෙවල් වල කට්ටිය, and businesses to turn off their lights for 1 hour. දැන් ඒකයි මේක Earth Hour කියලා කියන්නේ. For 1 hour, you have to turn off your lights from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on the last Saturday in March. මාර්තු මාසේ අවසාන Saturday 8:30 වල ඉඳලා 9:30 වෙනකල් you have to turn off your lights. That is what we mean by the Earth Hour. මොකද you know that from 7 onwards, 7 to 10 කියලා කියන්නේ electricity maximum usage එකක්, consumption එකක් තියෙන කාලයක්නේ. එතකොට during that time we switch off all the lights for 1 hour. That means we save a lot of energy, as well as we are doing something really beneficial for the earth. ඒකයි මේක Earth Hour කියලා කියන්නේ. Then this is done as a symbol of our commitment to the planet we live in. අපි ජීවත් වෙන planet එක තියෙන commitment එක. අපේ ඒකට තියෙන මොකක්ද මේ committed කියලා කියන එකට සිංහලෙන් that means you really care about it and you kind of think about it a lot. නේ අපේ තියෙන අර care එක තමයි එතනදී symbolize වෙන්නේ. And then from there onwards, Tulini, start reading.
Hundreds of millions of people from all over the world show their support by switching off the light for 1 hour on this particular day. They engage in this activity irrespective of all the barriers such as race, religion, culture, society, generation, and geography.
Right. Hundreds of millions of people, million from all over the world show their support by switching off the lights for 1 hour on this particular day. They engage in this activity. Why do they they of course do it irrespective of not thinking about all the barriers. There are barriers in the society, not literal barriers. Literally එහෙම barriers දාලා නැහැ, but there are some kind of differences between people නේ. නමුත් මේ differences without regarding about the differences මොකද වෙන්නේ මේගොල්ලන් මේ activity එක කරනවා. What are the differences? Race, religion, culture, society, generation, geography. Then there are different generations as well නේද? මොනවාද generation දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන් generation Z නේද? ඊට පස්සේ දැන් generation alpha කියලා කෙනෙක් කට්ටියක් ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නවා. එතකොට boomers කියලා ඉන්නවා, millennials කියලා ඉන්නවා. There are different kinds of generations now. Irrespective of the generation that we are living in, අපි හැමෝම ජීවත් වෙන්නේ earth එක උඩ. All of us are living on the planet earth. So we need to care for our motherland. Motherland කියලා කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව විතරක් නෙමෙයි, the whole earth. So irrespective of these barriers, people engage in this activity. Right. And then the next part, Lochini.
Therefore, it is a global celebration showing the commitment of people towards one thing that unites everyone to the planet. Earth Hour generally aims to show the actions people, business, and governments worldwide are taking to reduce their environmental impact.
Right. Therefore, it is a global celebration. මේක එක රටක් celebrate කරන එකක් නෙමෙයි. This is a global celebration. Showing the commitment of people towards one thing that unites everyone. So all of us are united with one thing. What is that thing? The planet. Because all of us live on this planet Earth. Earth Hour generally aims to show the actions of people, businesses, governments worldwide are taking to reduce their environmental impact. Kuta, you know that there are businesses which impact the earth, the environment. There are certain government activities which affect the earth. Earth එකට affect වෙන ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවානේ. එතකොට this particular action symbolizes their effort to reduce that impact. ඒ impact එක අඩු කරන්න governments, businesses තමන් actions ගන්නවා කියන එක තමයි it kind of proves. Right. Then the next part. Sanuti.
This helps to encourage others join an interconnected global community motivated to find solutions to environment challenges.
Right. This helps to encourage others. So when a certain group of people are engaging this Earth Hour, එතන අනිත් කට්ටියත් encourage වෙනවා to join in an interconnected global community. So this global community is interconnected, antar sambandhitai, motivated to find solutions to environmental challenges. We are experiencing challenges. We are experiencing challenges when it comes to the environment. Challenges වලට ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙලා every person comes together in order to face these challenges. That is what people want to show. Right. And then the next part, Inakshi.
However, Earth Hour is not merely for saving an hour's electricity. It is a broader concept that helps us to understand that most of our actions have an effect on the world.
Right. So even though lights are switched off for 1 hour, that is not just to save an hour's electricity. Make an income of එක පැයක විදුලිය පරිභෝජනය නවත්තන එක නෙමෙයි. That is not the concept. It is a broader concept. මේක ගොඩක් පුළුල් concept එකක් that helps us to understand that most of our actions have an effect on the world. Most of the times, Pupa, whatever we do has an effect. අපි කරන හැම දෙයකින්ම effect එකක් තියෙනවා. And most of the times, it affects the environment. පරිසරයට ඒකෙන් බලපෑමක් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. And then you have some examples. Kanulya.
For example, the energy we use, the food we buy, and the water we drink have an impact on our planet. We all depend on our planet and need to look after it, not just for an hour a year, but every day.
Right. So when we think about the energy, when we think about the food, when we think about the water, everything affects the planet, right? And then we all depend on our planet and need to look after it. Then පුතේ, if the planet Earth is not there, we will not be able to survive. නේ අපිට survival එකක් නැහැ planet Earth එක නැත්තම්. So we need to care for the Earth. But most of the times people don't think about it. Not just for an hour a year, but every day. So this should be something that we are doing each and every day. එක දවසකට limit වෙච්ච දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. Right. Then the next part. Nehansa.
So when we switch on the lights again, if we stop to think about the things we can change in our daily life, it will benefit the planet in many ways. Across the world, biodiversity and natural habitats are disappearing at a greater rate than ever before.
Right. So when we switch on the lights again, if we stop to think about the things we can change in our daily life, then Puta, most of us, we kind of consume electricity, consume energy without even being aware of that. අපි ඒක ගැන awareness එකක්වත් නැතුව, most of us are wasting time, and I'm guilty about that as well, because like I'm sort of a person who forgets to switch off the light after I've switched them on. And I know that I have that bad habit, and it's in a way affects the Earth. And if we stop and thought about it, it will benefit the Earth, it will benefit the planet in many ways. Across the world, biodiversity, natural habitats are disappearing. Biodiversity දන්නවනේ අර ජෛව විවිධත්වය කියලා කියන්නේ, and natural habitats, the habitats of animals, ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ස්වභාවික වාසස්ථාන, ඒවා disappear වෙනවා at a greater rate than ever before. And then the last part, Oditya.
If we are not careful, we will be depleting the earth of wild animals, water, food, and other natural resources faster than they can be replenished. Things will only worsen if we continue in the same direction.
Right. If we are not careful, we will be depleting. Depleting means kind of reducing the earth of wild animals, water, wood, and other natural resources faster than they can be replenished. ඒවා අර replace කරන්න බැරි වේගෙන් අපි ඒ දේවල් reduce කරන මට්ටමකට පත් වෙනවා. Things will only worsen if we continue in the same direction. If we do something like this, then what will happen is that the situation is going to be really bad. Sahanya, bad situations, bad circumstances, people have to experience. Right. And then you don't have to write this one. We will just find out the answers. Earth hour. When is the Earth hour in Akshay? When?
The last Saturday in March.
Right. Last Saturday in March between
Between 8:30 to 9:30 p.m.
yes, correct. Where, Kenulya?
On all the
Yes, throughout the earth. Right. By whom, Lochani?
By individuals, communities, households, and businesses.
Okay. Yes, individuals, communities, households, businesses. Right. They are the ones who are doing that. ඊට පස්සේ for what? What is the reason, Nehansa?
to show the commitment to the earth.
To show their commitment to the earth. Okay. And then the next question. How do people celebrate Earth Hour? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oditya, how do people celebrate Earth Hour? Yes, Oditya, how do they celebrate Earth Hour? In the first paragraph, you have the answer. By? Just look at, yeah. By doing what, Oditya? In order to celebrate this Earth Hour, they do something now?
As race, religion, culture, society.
නෑ පුතේ නෑ. In the first paragraph, you have the answer. ඒගොල්ලෝ මොකද කරන්නේ? Earth Hour එක celebrate කරන්න මොකද කරන්නේ? Specific දෙයක් කරනවනේ. What is that?
By switching off the lights.
අන්න හරි. By switching off the lights for 1 hour from 8:30 to 9:30 on the last Saturday in March. ඒක තමයි ඒගොල්ලන් කරන්නේ. කියන්න. By turning off the lights for 1 hour. This is what they do. ඊළඟට why is Earth Hour introduced as a global celebration? What is the reason, Sanuti? Why is it a global celebration?
Because it's one thing that unites everyone on the planet.
Okay. Because everybody should be united. Right. Because they wanted to show the commitment that people have towards the planet Earth. Right. And then the next question. Select the sentence which says that Earth hour cannot be limited to just 1 hour. Tulini, we cannot limit Earth hour to just 1 hour.
Our Earth hour is not merely for saving an hour's electricity.
Okay. Earth hour is not merely for saving an hour's electricity. It's a broader concept. Hi. According to the article, what will happen if we are not careful in Akshay? If we are not careful, what will happen?
We will be depleting the earth of wild animals, water, wood, and other natural resources faster than they can be replaced.
Yes. So everything would disappear. Every natural resource would disappear from the earth if we are not careful. Right. Then find out when Earth Hour will be celebrated this year and write down a list of things you hope to do on that day. Now, actually, it's over because this is October and this is celebrated, it is actually celebrated in March. And you can mention what you can do other than switching off lights switch off කරනට වැඩිය what are the things that you can do කියලා ඔයගලන්ට පොඩ්ඩක් හිතන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. ඊළඟට we have this lesson on if conditional clauses. You might have learned this thing in an earlier grade, if conditional type 1, type 2 and type 3. In grade 10 you have a full detailed lesson about this if conditionals. If conditionals ගැන ඔයගලන්ට තියෙනවා full ඒ කියන්නේ in detail lesson එකක්. And in grade 11 you are not taught these things. මේ දේවල් grade 11 උගන්වන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ grade 11 තියෙන්නේ only kind of a revision part. Just recap. මෙතන තමයි lesson එක තියෙන්නේ. Read the following sentences taken from the above article. If we stop to think about the things we can change in our daily life, it will benefit the planet in many ways. If we stop, then it will benefit. So in the if condition or if conditional clause, you have if and stop. That means present tense. In the main clause, you have will plus verb. එතකොට if එකත් එක්ක present tense තියෙනවා නම් will එකත් එක්ක present tense will එකත් එක්ක root form එක තමයි you have to use. ඊළඟට if we are not careful, we will be depleting the earth of wild animals. Again, you have the same thing. If we are present tense, we will be depleting future tense. Things will only worsen if we continue in the same direction. Same thing. If we continue, things will worsen. Then things will worsen. In these two sentences, you had the if conditional first. මෙතන if condition එක තියෙන්නේ දෙවෙනි එක. Construct sentences using the sentence pattern given below. If we waste water, if we cut down trees unnecessarily, if we pollute the environment, if we do not pay attention to disaster management. Now, Buddha, you have if plus present tense. එතකොට in your main clause, you should write using will plus verb. එහෙම නැත්නම් can plus verb. will එකත් එක්ක තමයි use කරන්න ඕනේ. මෙන්න තියෙනවා example එක. If we waste water, we will not have enough water to drink in 50 years time. ඒ වගේ you need to make sentences for these three sentences as well. මේ sentences තුනට හදන්න බලන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ conditional clauses තුනට make like complete these three sentences using will plus verb. එහෙම නැත්නම් will not plus verb. මෙතන තියෙනවා if waste. මෙතන තියෙනවා will not have. ඒ විදිහට මේකත් හදන්න. If we cut down trees unnecessarily, something will something. I'll give you 3 minutes. 3 sentences, 3 minutes. Right. I hope you have finished up writing the answers. Inakshi, tell me your second sentence. If we cut down trees, that one.
If we cut down trees unnecessarily, we'll have to face food scarcity.
we will have to face food scarcity. Right. Kinulya? Third one.
If we pollute the environment, the percentage of carbon dioxide will rise.
The percentage of carbon dioxide will rise. Correct. Lochani, fourth one.
If we do not pay attention to disaster management, we will have to face many obstacles related to natural disasters.
Okay, we'll have to face many obstacles related to natural disaster. Correct. Nehansa, second one.
If we cut down trees unnecessarily, it will be a great problem for our life.
It will be a great problem
For
for our
our
life. Right. Correct. Oditya, third one. Oditya, yeah. Tanuti, third one.
If we pollute the environment, there will be global warming and natural disasters.
There will be global warming and natural disasters. Correct. Tulini, fourth one.
If we do not pay attention to disaster management, we will face too many problems.
We will face many problems. Phase 2 epapate, we will face many problems. Hari. Oditya, right. Oditya, your answer for the second one. If we cut down trees, that one.
If we cut down trees unnecessarily, we will not get the rain.
We will not get rain. Okay. Good. Right. So we need to move on to this if conditional clauses. But first, I want to complete grammar activity 2. There's a lot of exercises that you are supposed to do. Hari, මේක බලන්නකෝ. Write a short paragraph. Did you do this, Puta? I don't think that you did. Hari. Write a short paragraph, that means 5 to 6 sentences about your last vacation. Use at least 5 of the following connectors to join your ideas. That means if you write 5 sentences, all those 5 sentences should be complex sentences. You should connect. You should connect sentences using these connectors. And, but, because, so, while, ataraturedi, although, ehema unat, however, kese unat, since, nisa, ehema nattang patan, after, before, මෙන්න මේ sentence, මෙන්න මේ connectors දාලා, you need to write a paragraph. එතකොට හැම වාක්‍යෙම, in each and every sentence, you should have a connector. Last weekend, we decided to go to Nuwara Eliya, but because of bad weather, my father told that we will go to Trincomalee. එතකොට ඔන්න තියෙනවා but කියන connector එක. අන්න ඒ විදිහට you have to write a paragraph, a short paragraph. ගොඩක් sentences නැහැ. Only 5 to 6 sentences. And you can take only 5 to 6 minutes. එක sentence එකක් ලියන්න එක විනාඩියක් යන්නේ නැහැ, but still I will give you 1 minute. හරි කරන් බලන්න. Right. Then the next activity. Below is a dialogue with grammatical mistakes. Correct the mistakes and rewrite the dialogue. Pay attention to verb tenses, pronouns, and word order. Hi, John. Did you finish your homework yet? So in this one, first sentence, the tense that is used is wrong. Use කළ තියෙන tense එක වැරදි. මොකද with the word yet, we cannot use past tense. Yet එකත් එක්ක අපිට past tense use කරන්න බෑ. You need to consider which tense are we using with yet. එහෙම හිතලා ඒක හදන්න. And then in the other sentences also you have mistakes. And probably not only one, there may be several mistakes as well. And I'm waiting for the answers of the other people. Only Nakshi has sent the answer. Others also need to send. And quickly finish up this activity. For this also you can be given, let's say, 5 minutes maximum. Right, so let's discuss this one. Hi, John, did you finish your homework yet? Puta, since we have the word yet, metana, we cannot use did you finish. We have to use have you finished your homework yet? No, I didn't. Then metana have you ahuwata passe we can't use didn't ne. Metana මොකද්ද වෙන්න ඕනේ? තුලිනේ. Have you finished කියලා අහුවනම් metana no I
Doesn't.
නෑ have එකට doesn't එන්නේ නැහැනේ. Have you finished? No I මොකද්ද? have තියෙනවා නම් මෙතන do you finish කියලා අහුවනම් no I don't. Have you finished අහුවනම්
Did not.
මෙතන have නේ දැන් මෙහෙ බලන්නකෝ. හිතන්නකෝ මෙතන did you finish නම් no I didn't. දැන් අපි මෙතන have කියලා change කරානේ. එතකොට have කියන එකට ගැලපෙන negative form එක මෙතනින් use කරන්න. Did you කියලා අහුවනම් didn't නම් have you කියලා අහුවනම්
Haven't.
haven't. අන්න හරි. No I haven't. හැම වෙලේම ප්‍රශ්නෙට ගැලපෙන එක හොයාගන්න ඕනේ. No I haven't. I am working on it for the past 3 hours. මේ මොනවාද මේ? පහුගිය පැය 3ේම මම වැඩ කර හිටියේ. එතකොට when you have for the past 3 hours, tense should be, what should be the tense, Kenulla? Tense එකේ නම කියන්න ඕනේ. Just tell me the answer for this one.
I have been working on it for the past 3
Good.
hours.
Good. I have been working on it for the past 3 hours. අපි මේක කලින් කතා කරා. If you have since last week, for the past 3 hours. අන්න ඒ වගේ තැන් තියෙනකොට you have to use present perfect continuous. Has, have been, ing. Then, wow, that's a long time. You should have finished it by now. Should have finished. What is the problem here? Mehansa.
Finish should be
Finished. ED, yes. You should have finished it by now. දැන් මේ වෙනකොට ඉවර වෙලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. That's a long time. You should have finished it by now. I know. I was so tired. that I didn't get much done. Oh, Ditya. Didn't get. What is the problem? Didn't get.
Doesn't.
නෑ පුතේ මේක දැන් past tense එකෙන් තමයි එන්න ඕනේ. Didn't get තියෙන්නේ. දැක්ක ගමන් මතක් වෙන්න ඕනේ මොකද ප්‍රශ්නේ කියලා. Didn't get. Didn't eat වගේ. Didn't eat කියන්න බැහැ නෑ අපිට.
Got.
නෑ. got කිව්වොත් past tense දෙකක් එකට. Didn't got කියන්නත් බෑ. එතකොට didn't කියන්නේත් past tense, got කියන්නේත් past tense. එක අකුරයි වෙනස් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. Just one letter. Simple past tense මතක් කරගන්න. Didn't go the didn't goes the. පුතේ didn't go didn't goes. නෑ මම අහන්න ප්‍රශ්නෙට උත්තර දෙන්නකෝ. I didn't go there. I didn't goes there. What is the answer?
I didn't go.
අහන්න හරි. I didn't go නේ. දැන් ඒක මතක තියාගෙන මෙතන බලන්න මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා.
I didn't get.
අන්න හරි. I didn't get much done. Didn't එකත් එක්ක we have to use the root form. I didn't get much done. එහෙම නැත්නම් I haven't got much done. Yes, Inakshi?
Teacher, I wrote couldn't.
I couldn't get much done.
Yeah.
Okay, that is also correct. Then, well, take a break. Then you can go back to it later. Lochani.
Then you can go back.
Then you can go back. Can goes වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Can go. This should be your answer. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more slides, but I need to move on to the third grammar activity, which is on passive voice. Wait until I open it. Right. So, this is the third grammar activity. And before I move on to the activities, I'm going to move on to the last slide, Puta. Here you have some verbs. මෙතන තියෙනවානේ verbs. මේ බලන්නකෝ. You have different tenses. Bake, bakes, simple present. Baked, simple past. Was, were, baking, past, continuous. Has, have, baked, present, perfect. Had baked, past, perfect. Is, are baking, present, continuous. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. මේක හරිනම් මම වෙන කල එකක් කරන්න but come on. You have 6 tenses. What you need to do is you need to make these things into passive voice. Passive voice verb එකට හරවන්න ඕනේ. මෙන්න මේ verbs ටික. I will give you an example. Example එකක් මම දෙන්න. මොකද්ද මම දෙන example එක? Is painting, that is active voice. is painting, active voice. ඒක is එහෙම නැත්නම් are painting, active voice. ඒක passive voice හරවනකොට is are being painted. That is passive voice. Is are being painted. ඒ වගේ you need to make these things into passive voice. This is your grade 6, 7, 8, 9 knowledge. ඒක check කරන්නයි ඕනේ. Onna liyagan, if you want to write the question, turn these verbs into passive voice. ඉක්මනට කරන්න ඕනේ. If you don't know this, we will not be able to move on with the questions. ඉතලා මේක basics දැනගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේනේ. විනාඩි 2ක් විතර දෙන්න. This is passive voice, indirect speech නෙමෙයි. Passive voice. Right answers as you can remember. No need to go through books. Just brainstorm. That would be enough. Because we will be discussing this next. Right. So let's start discussing bakes and bake. That is simple present. Nehansa, how can we make bakes and bake passive voice?
Is baked.
Is are baked. Correct. Is are baked. Correct. Is are baked. Then, blue color one. Baked. Simple past. Kenulya?
Baked.
No. Lochani?
Was baked.
Was were baked. Was were baked. So, was were changes according to the object. Object ekanu venas vena. Then, was were baking. Tulini? Was were baking. Green color one.
Was were being baked.
Yes, was were being baked. B-E-I-N-G, being baked. Correct. Has, have, baked. Inakshi?
Has been baked. Have been baked.
Has, have, been, B-double-E-N, been baked. Correct. Had baked. Oditya?
Had been baked.
Correct. This one I told the answer. Is, are baking. Is, are, B-E-I-N-G, being baked. That should be the answer. Okay. So these should be your answers. විදිහට තමයි you have to have your answers. If your answers are wrong in certain places, please do correct the mistakes. All right. So having that in our minds, and also Puta, you know that when you make passive voice sentences, the object is in the first place. Matakane then active voice now, the doer, verb, object ne. But when it comes to passive voice, object එක තමයි object is in the first position. All right. So let's look at these sentences. There are 5 sentences. Transform the following active sentences into passive. The cat chased the mouse. The teacher assigned homework. The chef prepared a delicious meal. The children built a sand castle. The scientist discovered a new plant. And I'm going to change these things. Right. Make these into passive voice. I've changed the tenses. Five sentences, 5 minutes. That's more than enough. First one, the cat chases the mouse. Oditya,
The mouse being chased by the cat.
the mouse
Being
නෑ. මේ බලන්න chasers නේ තියෙන්නේ. You have chasers. එතකොට මොකද්ද වෙන්න ඕනේ? මේ chasers කියන්නේ bakes වගේ. The mouse.
chased by the cat.
එතකොට මේකට මොකද වෙන්නේ? am නිසා ගිල්ලද?
The mouse is chased by the cat.
අන්න හරි. The mouse is chased by the cat. Correct. Right. Then, the teacher is assigning homework. Kenulya,
Homework is being assigned by the teacher.
correct. Homework is being assigned by the teacher. Correct. The chef has prepared a delicious meal. Sanuti,
A delicious meal has been prepared by the chef.
a delicious meal has been prepared by the chef. Right. The children had built a sand castle. Inakshi,
A sand castle had been built by the children.
correct. A sand castle had been built by the children. Correct. Next one. The scientists discovered a new planet. Nehansa,
A new planet was discovered by the scientists.
correct. A new planet was discovered by the scientist. Hands up those who have got 5 out of 5. All the 5, correct. Good. Inakshi hari. Lochani, මොකද්ද වැරදුනේ? Which one? Lochani?
Teacher, the last one.
Last one. What did you write?
Is
ඒකනේ.
is
Discovered na simple past ne, you can understand that නේද?
Yeah, teacher.
And then Oditya, මොකද වැරදුනේ?
The first one.
First one ඔයාට. හරි. Then moving on to the next question. Read the following sentences and identify whether they are in active or passive voice. Write A for active, P for passive. දැන් මේ ටික බලන්න. බලලා here you have 5 sentences නේ. And then you need to decide which sentences are active and which sentences are passive. The song was sung by the choir. Active, the passive. You need to decide. It's really easy. You don't have to write the full sentences, Puta. Just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ඊළඟට ඉස්සරහින් A hari P hari දාන්න. So it will take maybe like 2 minutes for you to write down the answers. Kenulya, read the first sentence and tell me which voice is it?
The song was sung by the choir. Passive voice.
Passive. The song was sung by the choir. Passive. Tulini, second one.
The dog barked loudly at the stairs. Active voice.
Active. Stranger. Stranger කියලා කියන්නේ නන්නඳුන්න පුද්ගලයෙක් කියන අඳුරන්නේ නැති පුද්ගලයා. So who is barking? The dog. They are active voice. Correct. Sanuti, third one.
The book was written by the author. Passive voice.
Passive voice. The book was written by the author. Passive. ලිව්වේ කවුද කියලා නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ ලිව්වේ මොකක්ද කියලා තියෙන්නේ sentence එක මුල. Passive voice. Correct. Inakshi, fourth one.
The children played in the dark. Active voice.
Active. It's park. The children played in the park. Active voice. Correct. Oditya, fifth one.
The homework was completed by the students. Passive voice.
Passive. Correct. That one was easy. ඊළඟට බලන්න rewrite in active voice. So you are given these things in passive voice. දීලා තියෙන්නේ passive voice එකෙන්. You need to make them into active voice. දැන් කලින් එකේ ඔයගොල්ලන් active voice passive කරානේ. Here you have to reverse it. The reverse thrown කියනකොට you need to think of which tense this is. මේක මොකද්ද tense එක කියලා you need to think. ඊට පස්සේ you need to make the changes, appropriate changes as well. ක්‍රියාව කරන කෙනා මුලට ගන්න. You have to make the doer to the front part. Take, let's say, 3 minutes. First one, the ball was thrown by the boy. Lochani.
The boy tripped the ball.
The boy threw the ball. Correct. The cake was eaten by the guests. Inakshi.
The guest ate the cake.
The guests ate the cake. The homework was finished by Maria. Kenulya.
Maria finished the homework.
Maria finished the homework. All these things are in past tense. The game was won by our team. Tulini.
Our team win the game. Won the game.
Our team won the game. The presentation was given by the student. Kenulya.
The student gave the presentation.
The student gives the presentation. These are your answers. Right. And then Putha, this is for homework. This one. Write 5 active voice sentences, then convert each one to passive voice. Now, when you write these 5 active voice sentences, you need to select different tenses. Please remember that. Now, here you had only past, simple past, ne? Namuth metanadi, you cannot use the same tense. You have to use different tenses. Tamanta අමාරුම tense එක ගන්න. If you think that a certain tense is difficult for you, start with that tense. දැන් ඔයගලන්ට හිතනවා නම් simple present is difficult කියලා. Then start with that tense. හරිද? And I hope those who find trouble in making sentences into active and passive, you must have written down this guide. මේ guide එක තියෙනවා නම් you'll be able to answer any question. ඕනම question එකකට answer කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. එහෙනම් so this is for your homework and please do it when you come the next day. And this one as well. Take a screenshot of this one for Kinda. Let me switch off the camera, otherwise I will also be in the screenshot. Hari. Make a ganda. So you have 2 things to be done for homework. Dekak tiyena. And you'd better finish it up when you come next.